Tammy Baldwin. Should you vote for her? If you live in Wisconsin, she will be on the ticket later this year. Welcome to OpenViews, and I have 3 things you need to know before you head to the polls. First item on our list is healthcare. Tammy is pro-choice. She co-introduced the Women's Health Protection Act, which guarantees abortion access federally. She also voted for Improving Health Insurance Affordability Act, otherwise known as Obamacare. The purpose of this is to bring more benefits to a broader income range and to ensure donations intended for co-pays actually contribute towards co-pays. Finishing our discussion on healthcare, there are a couple of key programs that are about to lose funding that Tammy voted to save. First one being hospitals that serve a large number of Medicaid and underinsured patients. Areas with new medical and dentist professionals have additional funding to upskill those resources. And there are programs to avoid early pregnancy through abstinence and contraception. What Tammy has done is voted for HT 2872, which its purpose is to continue funding to those programs. The second thing I want you to know is related to the cost of living. Doesn't it feel like everything is more expensive these days? Tammy's approach is to combat inflation through the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. How this act proposes to accomplish this goal is through increasing IRS funding, having a 15% minimum tax on corporations that make over $1 billion a year, and a 1% tax on stock buybacks. That is intended to encourage companies to put money back into the economy instead of purchasing back their own stock. This act is expected to cost $58 billion and to increase revenue by $108 billion by 2031. The final piece I want to share with you is on weapons and on foreign policy. Starting with the first one, Tammy is pro-gun control. She wants to expand background checks to include private transfers. This would be like gun shows or family transfers. She also wants to ban the big 3, which are high-capacity magazines, bump stocks, and what are called military-style assault weapons. Switching over to foreign policy and talking about Israel, Tammy believes that Israel has the right to defend themselves, but also needs to minimize harm to civilians. She also believes in the 2-state solution, which would allow Israel and Palestine to exist as independent states. Now that you've gotten to know Tammy better, do you disagree with me? Throw your opinions in the chat. What do you think of Tammy? Let me know below. Also, if you like this kind of content, smash the like button and subscribe so I can continue making content just like this. All right, before you go, if Tammy isn't for you, what do you do then? There's another person that's going to run against her. His name is Eric Hovde. Overall, there's much to learn about Eric. To my knowledge, he has not been a politician thus far. He's been a very successful businessman. Eric is more of a political outsider. Having said that, he was born in Wisconsin. Digging into some detail about Eric, some of this is actually back from 2012 when he ran for the Senate spot then. Starting with healthcare. Back in 2012, Eric was opposed to Obamacare and wanted to repeal it. He suggested a more free market system with a voucher plan. Eric also has been criticized a bit for suggesting higher cost for obese patients. Coming back to the topic of cost of living, Eric blames what he calls Bidenomics and Tammy's policies for exacerbating inflation. Eric's approach at a high level is to cut federal spending. He believes that this is the way to reduce inflation. In closing, Tammy's focus is on using legislation to create her vision. Conversely, Eric is focused on reining in government spending and letting people create their vision. What do you think is best? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching to the end, and see you next time.